Hey everybody, welcome to the stream. Good afternoon and good evening to you all. And thank you for joining me today. Wasn't sure if the stream was going to happen. My internet problems are continuing. But they're good for right now. And since we look good for right now, I want to play some WoW today. So that is what we're going to do. What is new? What is good, guys? I'd like to sneak in a Deadmines run. That would be awesome. I really just want Cookie's wand. We look like we have a couple healers. We do not have tanks, so we will hang out in the queue. And while we're in the queue, let's go after the brutes and mystics, and we'll also be working on the pikes and rivets. Do that north of town. Any chance on running the hardcore warlock? The hardcore warlock was on Alliance, was on Horde-side US realms. I don't know if I'm going to pick up my anniversary characters on the US realms, because I've kind of switched my gameplay over to EU. So I would say very unlikely, not impossible, but very unlikely, anytime soon at least. What do you have? Blackrock Menace.
Careful.
Let's grab that one. Guitar Junkie, good afternoon to you and welcome to the stream. It's actually very interesting to be playing a priest in Classic and to also be playing the priest in Retail. It's a very interesting experiment. We've been invited to a group, kind of hoping, yes, this looks like it's for Deadmines. We have a warrior, we have a paladin, and we have a warlock. I wonder if we have a tank. Or if the warrior is planning to DPS. Yeah, I'm talking to my wife. We've been having ISP issues, and she's been working with the ISP, and so I'm talking to her. If you see me looking over here and you can't hear what I'm saying, then obviously that's a sign that I'm looking at someone off the camera, which I think most people kind of pick up on naturally. Sorry, 1 second. Yeah, sorry guys, we've been having technical problems, and we've been trying to convince the ISP there is a problem, and that's still all ongoing, so... We've aggroed a number of fine gentlemen. Probably a good time to heal. There we go, let's bubble back up. And then back to business as usual. Alright, so maybe we should head that way. It looks like we're good to go. I don't know who's tanking, but we have a 5-person group. Where is everybody at? So Root Theron Village. It's going to take him a little bit to get there, and since he's the Warlock, we're not going to be getting a summon. Westfall, Iron Band's excavation site. Iron Bands, that's Loch Modan. And then the warrior is in Longshore. I'm not certain where Longshore is. That could also be Westfall. We got some people that are a little bit further than us. Oh, the warlock's gonna Hearthstone. Okay. Oh, he Hearthstone to Stormwind. Okay, let's get a move on then, because now he's really close. Any housekeeping we need to do? I need to pick up a metric shit ton of water before we go into this dungeon. I'd like to at least have 60. We can't quite get the level 25 stuff, so we're going to be stuck with the melon juice. I'm going to get that in Westfall. Inventory looks pretty good. I have a couple of unnecessary things that I probably should have put this on the auction house. Probably should have stored these in my bank. And we have one too many potions. But it's not bad.
Well met. See you around.
I always get worried when we're in a group for a 5-man and I see people's health get low. I've been in groups multiple times that have been getting ready to go do a dungeon, and then somebody dies. I remember one time we were on like an undead warlock, and it took us an hour. It took us an hour to find a group, and then we found the group, and then just as we're all starting to head to the dungeon, the tank died. Like somewhere off, doing his own thing after an hour of putting this group together. So bad. So yeah, now I kind of get triggered every time I see somebody's health get low when I'm in a 5-man group heading to the dungeon. It's always someone who's the tank too, like you always see the tank will almost get himself killed. John Rex, welcome to the stream, buddy. Thanks for being here today. Alright, let's not forget to grab the water. And I bet we can vendor one or two things.
Help you find something? Light bless you.
Carnifexia, thank you for being here and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Amy, no issues yet? Yeah, we'll see. Can the Xbox use the internet while I use the internet and while you use the internet? We're gonna find out. No, it's fine right now. Like I said, I don't think it's really related, but this will be a decent test. Maybe it'll be one of those things that now that you called them and made a fuss about it, magically the problem will now never happen again. You know, so that we'll have no evidence of there ever being a problem. Now, magically, even though nothing was done on their end, supposedly, maybe now we won't have the issue. Jinx. If we double jinx it, that undoes the initial jinx. So, I think we're fine. Who are we waiting for, and where are they at? The Warlock's almost here, so I guess if the Warlock's here, it doesn't matter. We can go ahead and summon. Hi there. How are you doing? This looks like a pretty well-rounded group. I still don't know who's tanking. But either way, it looks pretty good. Now the only question is, will this warlock life tap himself to death between every fight, or did he bring some water with him? What do we think the odds are? I think it's like 60-40 that he life taps himself to death. 60-40. 40% chance that he brought water, and that he'll use life tap sparingly, like a responsible human being. I guess I should get onto my healing bar. That would be a smart idea. It looks like the druid's tanking, and the warrior's gonna DPS. Speaking of DPS, let's go ahead. Well, we'll reset it once we get into the run. Yeah, we're having some internet problems, Dave. That's been the main problem. And my wife spent the early part of the afternoon on the phone with them after I tried to start the stream, and then I immediately had an upload problem where like my upload speed was not where it needs to be. Like I've been noticing that every time the stream dips out, I do a speed test. And like we pay for like a gig up and a gig down, and you don't really ever get a gig up. You usually get like 300 or 400 megs, which is a lot, and it's fine. But during the times that we've been lagging out recently, I've noticed that my upload is capped at like 3 to 5 megabits, and that's not enough to stream. It's not enough to upload stuff, and it seems to have been happening now sporadically for like the last week. So finally today she called them and talked to them. You know, we got new equipment because they thought like, oh well, you know, your equipment is old, maybe it's the equipment that's the problem. So we replaced the equipment, and it's still been the same on the new equipment. So we called them today. You know, of course, when you're on the phone with them, you do the speed test, and that's when everything's fine, right? And so it's more of that. Like when we're on the phone with them, the speed test is fine, and so we talked to them. You know, who knows what they did on their end? We'll see if we have any issues today. But yeah, we almost didn't get a stream in today at all. Ultimately, I was gonna just cancel it for today, but I wanted to play some WoW, so I was gonna play some WoW regardless. So I'm gonna try to stream, and so far everything's been good. Fingers crossed, you know. And the good thing is, like, when we do have problems, it's not a connectivity problem. Like, really, it only affects the stream. You know, it's not affecting my ability to play WoW or to be online. It's since streaming requires a higher upload speed and more upload, like, it's a problem that thankfully only affects the stream. It's not going to get me killed in hardcore, I guess, is what I'm saying. Yeah, John, absolutely. Without my wife, nothing would get done. Like, literally nothing would get resolved. How am I finding the Priest on Hardcore? Priest on Hardcore is a joy to play and often feels very safe. So as long as you don't let yourself get lulled into a false sense of security, it's great. Priest is kind of becoming like a favorite class. I'm playing Priest in retail, and I'm really loving that. And I'm playing Priest here in vanilla, and I'm really liking that, so. Could be on its way to main class status. What type of build are we going for? We're doing mostly a discipline build for this one. That's where all the save your life stuff is at. You know, we got like improved power word fortitude, we have improved power word shield for more protection. We went into shadow, of course, and we grabbed spirit tap, which is going to keep our mana going infinitely when we're soloing. But yeah, we're going to go like full discipline now. It looks like they want to do this quest outside the dungeon, which is fine because we haven't done these yet. The last group did not want to spend the time to do it, so we didn't get to do them last time. And we're lucky enough that somebody shared them with us because I had dropped them out of my log. Three stamina and 5 spirits. Man, that's a lot of spirit. I kind of want that. I won't roll meat on it. But that's a lot of spirit. There's a chest piece that can drop in here that has like 10 spirit on it, a blue chest piece. Corsair's shirt or something like that. Kind of hoping that drops. It looks like we have a very responsible warlock that only life taps like once or twice a pull, and I really appreciate that. That has been really nice. The last warlock we had would life tap himself completely, like all the way down to like 20% usually. Almost every pull he would life tap down to 20%. And I would just give him a renew. You know, I never really healed him up all the way. I would just give him a renew and he would deal with the renew, but it was like kind of stressful when we get into some of the combat, knowing that he's going in at lower HP. And like still, like I don't want him to die just because he's over life tapping, but I also didn't want to blow my mana healing him up after every single pull. This warlock has achieved a better balance. Locks are the bane of a priest's existence. Only the bad ones, I think. Like, this guy is one of the good ones. Oh, there he goes, there he goes. We spoke too soon. To be fair, he was kind of low on mana. We'll see, we'll see. It's yet to shape out fully, obviously. And good afternoon to you, and welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. Well, the nice thing is, so far my mana has been really good. I haven't had to drink yet, which is kind of crazy. Oh, look at that. The Warlock is life draining. See, he's trying to be really smart and really good. Because at the end there, he life tapped down, but then he did life drain to restore some of his health. That was a nice trick. I forgot that they have life drain. Alright, there's the badge. We got 3 out of 4 for the item. Alright, we are done here. I don't think everybody finished, but we finished. And that's what matters. Wait, does he want to fight this? Okay, and usually people just run into the instance, right? When they jump down here. Well, there we go. Maybe we. It's confusing, you know. I feel like the right move is just to go into the instance because like so many groups do that, and it can be confusing to groups when you like don't do that, and like any kind of confusion that happens in hardcore could lead to somebody dying. So yeah, I feel like they should just run in. And Dave, you had a bad Deadmines experience, it sounds like, buddy. That was a little bit dicey. A little bit dicey. Dave, you went in the queue for healer or DPS and you ended up tanking? Yeah, I think at that moment was probably the time to be done, right? When they voluntold you as a tank, when you offered to heal or DPS and they needed a tank, that would probably be the time to be like, yeah, no, it's not what I signed up for there, buddy.
Van Cleef pay big for your heads.
JJ, that's tough, man. I feel like the only safe place to log out is inside of an inn or in a major city. I feel like those are the only places that are truly safe. This group might have a little bit of a DPS problem. Well, there we go. There's a two-handed axe. Maybe if the warrior equips this axe, we won't have as much of a DPS problem. Because we need a little bit more DPS. Oh, we hit level 24. That's awesome. Cool, cool. Talents. Let's go into a second point for improved power word fortitude. And it looks like we have to rebuff here anyway. There we go. are still using the Greater Magic Wand. Yeah, that's part of why I did this again, because obviously I'm kind of hoping for Cookie's Wand to drop. Last time, the Meat Tenderizer dropped, so... If it does drop, we have the Warlock in the group, so we'll have at least one person to roll off against. I'd like to either see the Wand or the Corsair Cloth Chess Piece with the 10 or 11 Spirit on it, or whatever it is. If we can get either of those, that'd be great. What'll happen instead is that the staff will drop, and I don't need the staff. And then the Tenderizer will probably drop again. If I had to prophecy, that's what I would prophecy. Yeah, there is a BFD quest for a wand. I don't know where that quest is picked up. I think I've done it once before. But yeah, I don't remember. The quest comes from inside the instance. Okay. We have some low-level quests we can start doing in Ashenvale too. So maybe we'll plan that a little bit for next time. We'll see if maybe we can get over to Ashenvale, start doing some of the level 19, 20 quests, and we could queue up for BFD. I feel like level 24, level 25 is pretty good. Although maybe it would be nice to have a bit more gear, I don't know. Should I be able to out DPS a warrior on a single target by just using my wand? I don't know, but I did it twice. This group has a little bit of a DPS deficit, I think. If I can out DPS the warrior with just the wand, it's not great, you know? Doesn't mean it won't work, but it's just not great. Sacred RDM, take care, man. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time. Let's see, 3 int, 4 stam. I'm gonna take that. That feels like an upgrade to me. I'm definitely gonna toss a need out on it. Feels like a slight upgrade. And there we go. We've still got a lot of guys behind the pillar here. I'm not super hot about. I wish we would have taken some of those guys out. There's the awesome intellect ring, 2 agility, 6 int. We're definitely going to toss a need out on that. I doubt we're going to win it. We've seen it a couple times now. Yeah, it looks like the warlock won that one. That's big. Obviously the agility is useless, but the 6 intellect is amazing at this level.
Check out that noise.
I think we have another patrol to deal with at some point. Although they have not materialized yet.
We're under attack! Avast, you swine! Repel the invaders!
John, welcome to the stream. Good afternoon to you. Happy Friday. Plus 11 to healing spells? Yeah. Yeah, just while we're healing. I'll take plus 11 to my healing spells. Yeah, John, the delve was probably the only piece of content that I did not enjoy from the new patch, and that was just because the layout was a little bit confusing. I bet for people that have done a lot of delves, the layout was refreshing, because it's probably very different than delves that they've seen before. But for me, yeah, the portal system was like super confusing, and it was kind of at the end of the stream, the end of the afternoon, and my brain never works as well trying to learn something new at the end of the day. But yeah, I'll probably give it another shot eventually. Maybe after I do some other delves, I'll come back and give that one a shot. But yeah, overall, the entire patch has been great. We cleared all the main quests, we cleared every side quest, we cleared all the world quests. And on Sunday, I'm gonna grind up some dungeons, and we're gonna get ready to try some mythics in Season 3. That is the plan for Sunday. I'm glad it wasn't just me, and that the delve was kind of confusing for other people too. Like, you guys know how I am. It's hard for me to learn like new stuff in WoW, so usually it takes me a bit longer. It's nice to hear that some other people had some issues with it. Plus 5 frost resist. Okay.
Are tougher than I thought. I'll have to improvise.
And he dropped a green one-handed sword. Very weak. Very weak. I have to say, this run has been nice and smooth so far, despite our kind of lower DPS. I've been able to mostly keep my mana going. I haven't felt like the group has been leaving me behind. I haven't really had any, like, oh shit moments. You know, we're coming up to some of the harder bits, so maybe I shouldn't talk like this, but so far so good. I prefer when we do cookie first, honestly. I always get worried that we're not going to do cookie properly if we do cookie after the last boss. Because that involves jumping down. Sometimes people jump down at the wrong time, and sometimes they jump down in the wrong spot and they aggro too much. Sometimes not everybody jumps down. Yeah, I really prefer to go this way. But it seems like that's not on the table for today. Okay, wait, here we go. Oh, this is perfect. It's like they read my mind, chat. We must be psychically linked. That was a great time to proc Spirit Tap. Right as we were getting a little bit low. Oh, God. Why? Oh, we're not gonna get the wand, chat. We're gonna have to wait and just get the wand out of BFD. So I don't think we'll be back in here for a third time. We're level 24, we'll probably be 24 and a half, like we'll be 25 soon enough. I think we are probably done with Deadmines after this one. Well, we still have a chance for the chess piece to drop, so fingers crossed for that. It's a bummer that on hardcore you're locked to one attempt per day. I really wish they would retract that bit and just let me run as many dungeons as I want on hardcore. I don't really see, like, I get it, like, part of it was like, oh, we want people to be out in the world. I get it, like, you want people to be out in the world, but I don't know, maybe give me just maybe 5 attempts. Maybe can I do 5 runs a day? Some kind of number greater than 1. Sometimes you get an awesome group and it sucks that you can't just turn around and do it one more time, you know? It's like, that's like a key thing. Like, you get a good group, you have a good time, everybody lives, and you just say like, okay, let's do it once more. But in hardcore, you can't do that. John Rex, have a good rest of your day, man. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. We'll catch you next time. You think the one dungeon rule makes the items feel more special? Yeah, I mean, these are all good points, and I know they have reasons. Maybe just twice, okay? Maybe we can run them twice a day. I just feel like it's really nice to get into a good group. It's a, like, friend-building opportunity. You can run the dungeon twice with the same people. And maybe you make some permanent friends that way. I think 2 is the right number. Did I enjoy Self-Found? Yeah, we played a lot of Self-Found back on the Bloodsail Buccaneers server when hardcore was through the add-on. It was fun. I had just, you know, after so much solo Self-Found, you're just kind of ready to be able to use the auction house again. Also, it makes melee classes very, very unenjoyable. I think solo Self-Found's probably great for like casters and hybrids. But as a melee class that relies so much on having like good weapons, like every 5 levels you want weapon upgrades, without the ability to use the auction house, it like really hinders that. Kind of ends up making it not fun. I had a level 47 Paley on Self-Found that I had to retire him. I hadn't gotten a weapon upgrade in like 10 levels, couldn't find anything decent. And yeah. Back on solo Self-Found on Bloodsail Buccaneers, we were only allowed to kill bosses 1 time per character. So it wasn't even a matter of like going back in the next day to see if we can get an item to drop. It was like you got to do the dungeon once, and you either got an item to drop or you didn't. And that additional rule probably also contributed to making it really, really difficult to level up melee characters in Self-Found. Druids can't use polearms though. They can't? What a shame. Druids can't in Classic. They could use polearms for about 2 days. There were about 2 days when they were able to use polearms, and then Blizzard redacted that change because people went into a riot about it. Ooh. That was cool. It's like a little pet. Oh, we already had one. I had one in my bags. Here we go. Hang out with the bird. Yeah, 1 dungeon a day is infinitely better than 1 dungeon on the whole character. Yeah, it's better, definitely. That was more of a roleplay thing because Bloodsail Buccaneers and Hydraxian Waterlords, they were both technically roleplay servers. So I think the whole, like, the character can only kill a boss once was like a roleplay type of rule, you know? It only makes sense that in the life of the character, you can only kill a boss 1 time, right? So it was like a roleplay rule that kind of hindered gameplay.
None may challenge the Brotherhood.
Well, we did not get anything out of this one. Didn't get the wand, didn't get the chess piece, didn't get anything decent. But we got some XP. We almost got through half a level 24, and that's a decent chunk. And nobody died, so that's also great. We are gonna hearth out of here. No, we're not. We're not hearthing out of here. Oh wait, well maybe we can. Do we want to do some stuff in Ashenvale today? I guess that's the question. We got some stuff we could do in Ashenvale, but yeah, dang, I did not get my Hearthstone sorted out. I'm gonna jump down here and just leave the instance the old-fashioned way. I don't think I want to do Aberdeen today. I think I want to go to Ashenvale next time. So we'll just run out the old-fashioned way and jump on the flight point. I could have swore I set it to somewhere else, but yeah, it's back in Kalimdor. Mantar, good evening, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. Kettlebell Chris, good afternoon to you and welcome. Hope you're doing well today. Alright, I'm going to put us on a flight back to Red Ridge and I'm going to go refill my coffee really fast. I will be right back. You ever go to sit down in your office chair and the mechanism that keeps it straight has been removed and it just leans back so suddenly? That just happened to me. Yeah. It's a close one. Could have taken a tumble there. Alright. Jexa, good evening to you and welcome to the stream. What were we doing? We were doing stuff up here. Okay, yeah, back to the Mystics and the Brutes. Back to the Iron Pikes and the Rivets. Inventory, yeah, let's, you know what, let's make a little detour, clean out the inventory. These little pets are cool, but you know, I kind of need the 10 silver more than I need the pet. So I think I'm just going to get rid of them. Otherwise I got to carry them around in my inventory. They don't really do anything for me. And I'm not really much of a pet person. Having a bird pet, it just feels like it would poop on you all the time. Or it would fly around and like poop on all your things. So it actually sounds kind of gross. I grabbed this heavy wool cloak pattern. Let's go ahead and we'll learn that really fast. And then I have to remember to swap out these pants. I picked up some pants with plus 11 healing. I only really need those when we're doing dungeons.
What can I do for you?
Should be some more stuff here we can get rid of. 4 intellect cloak. I have 1 strength and 3 stamina. Maybe the intellect cloak is going to be better for me. Well, let's try that for a while, see how that goes. Sell the old one. Attack power, mail we don't need. Buzzer blade, one-handed dagger we don't need. 3 intellect, 2 spirit. We have 3 intellect and 4 stamina. I think I'm gonna keep the stamina. I probably should hang on to these, but we haven't used them yet. Linen, we're not really using linen anymore for skill ups. For Taylor, we've mostly moved into wool. And I think that's just about all we can do. It's not bad. Looks like we've got some competition out here now. How is this camp gonna pull? If I pull this guy, who is gonna come with him? That's... ooh, well, let's just hold off on that. Maybe there are not as many people around here as I thought. Well, these guys have a heal. They have a heal, but there's not really a lot I can do about the heal except account for it, and I'm just gonna have to DPS through the extra HP. Alright, do I really... thinking about the heal, do I really want to try to pull this camp? Not necessarily. It doesn't seem like a super intelligent thing to do. Maybe we need to focus on the ones that we can isolate. Well, that was not very timely. Not very timely at all. I would have been okay keeping the one we'd put some damage into, but apparently they're all going to reset. I'm thinking about the heal. I really don't want to mess with this patrol at all, but... Can I afford to let them run rampant around here? Not really. They're going to get in my way eventually. I'm going to have to try to take them out. This might be a time that we have to pop a fear. Or not. He's not going to heal. So that helps us out. Yeah, we really can't think about taking this on our own. I think it would be a little bit too risky, even with a fear. You know, this area, though, this area is pretty open. And a fear probably would not hurt us here as much as it would in other places. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to do the fear. I really didn't want to let that guy take one of my mobs. I was trying to stop them from being able to take one of my mobs, but I was a little bit too slow to damage that guy. I should have put a Shadow Word Pain on both of them when I feared them. That way we could have tagged them both. But, you know, it worked. I think we would have got them without the help, obviously. The help was kind of unwanted in this case. But not if you don't need the help, and not if they're taking your mobs. A helping hand is useful when you need help. When you absolutely don't need help, it's interference. I try to only intervene in fights when not intervening in a fight would mean the person would die. Otherwise, I try to let people handle their own pulls, fight their own mobs. I try not to intervene unless I think that it's going to be a literal matter of life and death. And then I'll intervene and then I'll help somebody out. But I'm not going to try to fight a bunch of stuff that somebody else is fighting if they're doing fine. Because a lot of times, like, you kind of choose your own challenge. Like, I like for that pull, for instance, like, I wanted to see if I could do it. You know, I wanted to do that pull, kill all 3 of the guys myself. And so when I see other people doing stuff like that, I try to, like, respect that. The idea that they might have chose that challenge, and unless it's going to kill them, I'm not going to intervene with it. Alright, that was the kill quest done, and the collection quest. So we're actually done with both of those quests. We got Murloc fins and spotted sunfish to get next. But we're going to go back and we're going to actually turn this in. You know what, we could go after some of these guys. We need axes. We might as well kill some of these guys while they're around. You know, there's a bigger area of them way out to the east. But maybe we can get a couple items off these ones. At what level can you start doing dungeons in hardcore? You can start doing dungeons at like level 20 on the Alliance side and like level 16 or 17 on the Horde side. Keep in mind, in hardcore you can only do each dungeon once a day. So you can't dungeon grind in hardcore. You have to quest to some extent. Unless you want to get on, do one dungeon and log out for the day, I guess you could do that.
Hello.
But yeah, you are limited to one of each dungeon run per day. It's locked out on a 24-hour lockout.
See you later. See you around.
Even in regular classic era, I would always recommend a mix of questing and dungeoning. I would never say do one to the exclusion of the other.
Can I help you?
I would say do a fun mix of both. And a fun mix of both is going to be different for every player. Some people are going to want to run more dungeons, some people are going to want to run less. Everybody's going to be a little bit different.
See you around.
Alright, let's go after the Murlocs. Inventory is looking like we can sell some stuff. Murlocs are going to drop a bunch of junk and a bunch of like shells clams we have to open up. A bunch of shell clams.
See you around.
Oh my god, that's a level 25 elite. Whoops, we almost came the wrong way. Yeah, that was almost bad. I kind of expected it just to be like a normal mob we could kill if we had to. But yeah, that was almost bad. You don't want to unexpectedly aggro an elite. Especially when you're in the water. It's typically bad news. Well, my plan was to head to shore, but the respawns are kind of making that a slower process than I thought it would be. Oh man, that's right. These tide colors have a heal. These guys are all a pretty low level compared to us, but the area could still get dicey. What's up? Another day in hardcore's up. Another day trying to stay alive against all the odds. I am doing pretty good today. Thanks for asking. The tiny little problem we're having here is that not all of these guys are giving kill XP, so we're not proccing Spirit Tap off of everybody. We're proccing Spirit Tap like 60% of the fights. So we're running us a little bit low on mana. Blood Moon, welcome to the stream. I think it's Friday. Usually I'm the one who's wrong about what day it is. But today in particular, I'm like 90% sure it's Friday. Mainly because my son has swim practice tonight. But thanks for being here and welcome to the stream. This was risky. I'm surprised I didn't pull either of the other ones nearby. Because they're pretty close. At least it looks like they're pretty close from here. Alright, let's heal up. How is our cooking and fishing doing? We have not leveled them today, but we're on track with everything. Well, we're on track with everything except tailoring. Tailoring is the only thing that I'm kind of worried about, which is pretty normal. I'm really bad at production professions. Herbalism is okay. Like, basically, I kind of want to be at 150 by the time I hit level 25. I like using the Season of Discovery guidelines for like what rank my profession should be at what level range. So at level 25 I want everything at 150, by 40 I want everything at 225. I kind of like the brackets they set up. I like to use those brackets like in my own mind to see if we're on track with profession. So I'd say like we're doing good on cooking and fishing. You know, we capped those out pretty easily. Where we're struggling with herbalism and with tailoring. We really need to get those up to 150, like, as soon as we can. So maybe we'll work on that some tomorrow. Am I going down the shadow tree? No, not at all. At least not until, like, level 40 or something. We'll probably try a dual spec, like an off spec, once we can do shadow form, but prior to shadow form, I'm not even going to touch it. We went in and we grabbed Spirit Tap. Spirit Tap's amazing, but we're doing a full discipline build for our main build. It's gonna help us survive. Shadow doesn't get really good until the Burning Crusade. In the Burning Crusade they make some changes to Shadow that actually make it enjoyable to play solo. Prior to that, I didn't really like it. We've tried it before, and I didn't like it. TBC makes it good. It's likely that I sound like that because I used to teach classes. You know, I used to be a corporate training developer. So for half of the year I would create training materials, and then for the other half of the year I would train people. And back then we were doing in-person, like classroom style facilitation. So that's probably why I sound a little bit like that. It's kind of where I developed my speaking voice. In corporate America. Tudor, good evening to you, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. Corporate stole my soul. I mean, they must not have stole my soul because I've been unemployed from corporate for 6 years, so... They took a chunk of me, but they also gave me a lot of skills that I still use today. So I would never go back. Ideally, I wouldn't have to go back, but I would never have given up my time there. Because I learned a whole bunch of valuable skills that I still use. How's it going? Is everything great? Everything is as good as it can be. And I am just grateful to be here for it. We need 2 more fins, and we need 1 more sunfish. Looks like everybody else kind of cleared out of the area. We have to be a little bit more careful now that we're here alone. Patrick, good afternoon to you, and welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by today. think we're actually done, and Questie is having a tracking problem. No, we're not. Questie is having a tracking problem, but we're not done yet. We still need one more fin. There we go. Now we're done. Alright, let's go get these turned in. I also need to remember to set my Hearthstone here. Well, then again, I do want to go out to Aberdeen next time, so maybe we won't reset the Hearthstone, because we want to do some stuff in Ashenvale next time so that we can easily do BFD. So maybe I'm just going to leave my Hearthstone right where it is. That might actually save me a bunch of time traveling tomorrow. Yep. Yes, Amy, I am. Guys, on that note, I do have to stop right here for today because I am out of time. We had a really late start today because of technical problems. Those look to maybe be resolved for now, so I'm hoping tomorrow we can get started at the appropriate time. And we are going to be right back here, even though tomorrow is Saturday. I'm going to play some more hardcore right here on this character tomorrow. And then Sunday, we are going to do some retail stuff, some dungeons. So yeah. I would love to see you guys tomorrow. We're going to pick up right here. Hope you have a great rest of your afternoon or evening time. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth very soon. Bye for now.